Hello everyone, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm Stephanie and I have a reading for you today about what you are purging. We're going to be looking at what exactly you are trying to get rid of in your life, or what will be getting rid of in your life, why you're getting rid of it, and how, or just anything surrounding the question what you are purging and what may be coming up for you after this purge in the future. But I have 4 piles here for you today. Starting with pile 1, we have a citrine. Pile 2, we have black tourmaline. Pile 3, we have garnierite. And pile 4, we have lepidolite. So take your time to choose and I'll be ready for you whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose a citrine crystal, then we have your reading here for you today about what you are purging. We're going to start with some oracle cards to get a view of what it is that is being purged, as well as some tarot cards. I actually did something different where I mixed and matched tarot and oracle just to see what exactly we can get out of this. So we're going to start with sacred breath and sound, life force, communication. We also have the beaver and birch, home, love, and happiness. Wow, these are all very positive cards. So whatever you're purging, I can tell right away, it's going to be for the better of everybody, both you and everyone around you, including your home, let's look at the tarot and then I'll get into it. So for the tarot, I'm using the Accurate AF tarot. We have the 10 of Swords. We also have the 6 of Wands. Let me read these words here. For the 10 of Swords, we have karmic lessons and only upwards. For the 6 of Wands, we have advancement and recognition. And for the Dawn of Swords, we have reflection and diligence. And I'm going to cover this part just because it shows a bit of nudity. But as you can see, she's holding up a sword. This is supposed to be the Page of Swords in this deck. So I'm getting a lot of throat chakra clearing, or if you're not familiar with the chakras, you're going to be clearing the way you communicate. You're going to be finding a better way of getting your point across, of being able to speak with people, of being able to relate to people as well, I'm hearing. And this could be mostly in the home, or it could be stemming from where you live. You could be surrounded by people who don't necessarily communicate the best, or who have trouble relaying information to you, especially if you're with either family or I don't know why I'm wanting to say coworkers, but I mean people you live with, roommates. Oh my gosh, for some of you, your coworkers may be your roommates as well. But I was getting coworkers really strongly, so maybe you're also clearing the way you communicate with your coworkers. It could be that the way you communicate in your workspace, you're kind of bringing that into your household, and it's not the best way to get your point across to the people that you live with. For example, if you live in a household that is very different from your workplace, maybe your workplace requires a lot of a specific type of way of communicating. I'm thinking like a legal office where everything has to be, backed up by something. There's always got to be a source for something, versus at home where you're trying to communicate with love, compassion, and, a friendlier way. Those two may not mesh well. So I'm getting the feeling that you're clearing the way you communicate. You're clearing the way you get your point across. You're also clearing how you relate to people, how you understand as well. Especially because I feel like there's been a lack of both love and happiness in your life in general. And believe it or not, sometimes it could just be one element within our lives or within ourselves that could be blocking this sense of love and happiness. I'm also getting very jumbled up with my words right now, which is weird. So maybe you've been getting a bit tongue-tied, which is okay. Mercury just went retrograde not too long ago at the moment that I'm filming this. So the good thing about a retrograde is that it forces us to revise and look back at how we have done things in the past. And this, especially for you, my pile 1, this could involve just the overall way you you go about speaking, you go about talking, and it's all for the better. I feel like there may have been some generational way of communicating within your family. Perhaps you came from a verbally abusive household, or even if it's not that severe or extreme, you may have come from a family that didn't, they just had a certain way of speaking. And as you've grown up, as you've realized your own truth and become your own person, you realize that that way of speaking just does not fit you, or it doesn't, it makes you feel like you're trapped, or like you can't move on, or that you can't move forward for whatever reason. For example, if you have a family that keeps a lot of secrets, you may realize that you do not do secrets at all. So you make it a point to be very honest and blunt and be as transparent as possible when the time is right, of course. But maybe your family comes from always wanting to keep secrets, because if anything ever gets let out, then, you know, everything could be undone. Well, I feel like you are undoing this. And as I'm speaking, I'm feeling my throat get more constricted and constricted. With the Ten of Swords here, I feel like it will be a bit of a struggle. I feel, well, not a struggle, but it's going to take some work to undo this, because I can tell that you're ready to let this go. This is a purge that has been a long time coming. Just some numbers that are coming through. We have 10. We also have 30 and 10 again. And 6. So something tells me that between the ages of either 6 and 10 was when you started learning this. And you may be either 30 or in your 30s now, or if you're past this age, this could be another instance where the communication really came back up, whether this was keeping secrets or building, I'm hearing building lies, or building a facade, like building a story that may not be entirely true. It's interesting because the beaver is a builder. They build their homes, they build their nests. I really feel like, especially in the past, and this could be generational trauma, your family or your background, whatever it may be, or maybe even you in your past, may have built a fence of not exact truths, a fence of something. I keep hearing lies, but I don't like saying that word, because it could have been, there was a story built that was supposed to keep everybody safe, or to keep everybody from learning something, whatever that may be. But the truth is, with the Page of Swords here, you are somebody who just doesn't adhere by these rules anymore. You don't adhere by this. And of course, there is the saying that the truth will eventually be found out. The truth will always come to the light. And as I'm saying this, the sun is getting brighter, of course. It's a Six of Wands, advancement and recognition. I feel like even if you can't explain to everybody exactly why you want to be living in this state of constant truth, in this state of constant transparency, I feel like you just don't want to be that person who holds skeletons in their closet. You don't want to be keeping secrets and then having to wonder why. Because when we hold on to certain things that are just, lies carry weight, untruths carry weight, if that makes any sense. And they can transform into anxiety, they can transform into all these kinds of things that are just not good for us. So in learning to be more honest and transparent, you just feel this burden be lifted off of you. You might find that you find it easier to be happy, and you also find it easy to speak with love. I am getting a little bit of being able to forgive your family for what they did, and to forgive the circumstances that led up to them building this this habit, this generational, ancestral possibly habit of having to keep things hush hush, or having to come off a certain way. Because even if it's not lies or secrets, it could also be the way families project themselves onto society. Perhaps he comes from a family that wants to come off as very wealthy or established, or very, you know, honorable, prominent. Maybe your family name carries a heavy weight to it as well. So therefore you have to keep up with appearances, as well as maybe keeping up with the Joneses, or the Jones. Or maybe your family was considered to be the Jones in this case. And that means, you know, just trying to do what every other family is doing because that's what is done. You see that a lot in small knit communities and tight knit communities, in small towns. So again, I just feel like you're breaking these patterns because you realize you don't want them to have a hold on you any longer for whatever reason that may be. But with especially this Ten of Swords here, it's interesting that it says only upwards, because after releasing this, the only thing that is going to come into your life is good, love, happiness, even a home. For some of you, I do get the feeling that you're trying to start your own family or your own house, like a home or a place to live. You might be setting off to break away from your family, quite literally, physically, especially if you're still quite young and you're finally moving away from the house. You may realize when you move out that the way your family did things was not always the healthiest or the best, at least for you. You realize it's not working for you. With Sacred Breath and Sound, it could help to do some meditation. I always take this card to mean meditation. For some of you, water may be a good place. Meditating near water may be a good idea, especially with this dolphin, especially if you're near like a beach or somewhere that, you know, has dolphins in the natural and nature. I feel like you could definitely benefit from going somewhere near water to meditate and to release a lot of this. I'm also hearing an aquarium, but only take that if it resonates. I know a lot of aquariums aren't the best for animals, but there are some places out there like nature reserves that could help, or rescue centers, rehabilitation centers for animals. But I'm getting just such a wonderful feeling of celebration here with the Six of Wands. Advancement, of course. You will be moving forward with this, but you also will have to be quite diligent, mostly because I get the sense that your family probably will notice this distinction in you. If you haven't had it before when you were younger, then I really do feel like as you break away from them and as you get older, they'll notice it even more. And this may cause a bit of course, arguments, disagreements, or even just some ruffled feathers, depending on how your family is. But in the end, you have to choose yourself and your own happiness, pile one. And I think your family will come around to understanding why it is that you wanted to break away from this, for the same reason that you understand why they had to resort to this coping mechanism to begin with. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else we can get from what it is that you're purging. Also some sacral chakra energy here. I feel like that just goes with the feeling of feeling lighter. You might feel like you want to do more in life as well because you feel so free. So for the tarot, we're going to be using the Accurate AF Tarot. This is a deck I've been wanting for a while, so it's fun to finally be able to work with it. For my dear pile one, we have we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Spirit of Rings here, productivity and endurance. We also have the Eight of Swords, overcoming fears, self-entrapment. We have the King of Pentacles, responsibility and abundance. We also have the King of Swords, articulate and intelligent. And one more. We have the Priestess, the High Priestess, illumination and knowledge. So this is quite interesting. I feel like it was almost your calling to break this family cycle. But let me get some clarifiers before I move on. I just love the story that I'm seeing already with you, pile one. Let me move these out of frame. We have the Whimsy Tarot to clarify. Strength. Oh, Three of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's lovely. Seven of Wands. And the High Priestess again. Wow. So For some of you, I do feel like you have had a bit of a spiritual awakening or reawakening. And through this, you may have realized that your throat chakra, or wherever the energy is in the way you speak and the way you communicate, may not have been the best. I feel like you have unearthed something within yourself that has made you realize that you were really holding back a lot, and this was causing you to both be a very quiet person, or maybe rather shy, or to not be able to speak up when you are supposed to speak up. I feel like because of this, you've become a little bit of a doormat and a little bit of someone who gets taken advantage of quite a bit, unfortunately. And a lot of people used to assume this was just because of your sweet, passive nature. And I feel like you really do have that, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be quiet and compliant with everything that is said, especially when this is going to be something that you disagree with or that you know is going to be harmful to you. So you're definitely breaking this for the sake of your own either spiritual development or just your self-development in general. Really both. I'm just saying spiritual as an aside because I know not everybody has a spiritual path. Not everybody who comes to these readings, at least, but if that does resonate with you, you can take that. If not, just take this to mean that you're becoming a bad bitch when it comes to the way you communicate. You're no longer putting up with what people want to project onto you, or when they give you something that you don't want to deal with. And this is because you've been in an energy of being very compliant and very obedient for far too long. It's mostly due to the fact that you are very much owning up to your masculine energy, especially with these kings here. It could have also been influenced by maybe a male figure, whether this is somebody who is close to you, a friend, a father. For some people, I hear it's a reconnection with a father. Like maybe you have had a father that you didn't know about, or that you haven't communicated with in a while, or that you just haven't really ever been that close to emotionally. So I feel like being around them or being inspired by their energy has really brought this upon yourself, to really step more into your masculine energy. And this is regardless of what you identify as. Your masculine energy is that dominant energy who is definitely a bit more outspoken. They definitely speak more than they hear. And it's quite interesting that I'm having to read this backwards, because I started over here with the Seven of Wands. It's definitely, I feel like if you've had a bit of an argumentative nature, this is going to be, how do I put this? You will be winning your arguments, or you will be able to state them a lot more clearly and directly. And I don't like saying that you're going to be winning your argument, but it's more like you're going to have a lot more sound logic and reason to this, especially with the King of Swords right above the Seven of Wands. You have a combination of your intuition and your intellect on your side. With the Wheel of Fortune here, I kind of expect a bit of money to come in as well. I feel like you'll be able to negotiate your salary or your rates if you are somebody who does freelance work a lot more better. It's kind of interesting because I wouldn't expect being able to clear something like a throat chakra block to be able to bring money, but in this case, this will definitely be the case for you, pile one. And it makes sense because when you come across more confident, people will want to pay you more because they're aware of your value. They're aware that you are definitely somebody worth their salt. Therefore, they know your premium price right off the bat, either subconsciously or because you state it so clearly and so convincingly that they have no excuse but to pay you what you need to be paid with the Wheel of Fortune here. With the Three of Cups and the Eight of Swords, it's quite interesting. These are such contrasting cards because the Eight of Swords, in the Rider-Waite, if you're familiar, it's that person who is both blindfolded and surrounded by swords. So they feel this sense of entrapment. But with the Three of Cups here, I feel like you're actually going to be bringing a lot more people will admire you when you start speaking up for yourself more, pile one. Specifically your friends, maybe, especially if you had friends have known you to be a certain way for so long, like they've always had to be the ones to stick up for you, and now they see you sticking up for yourself and they're quite proud of you. Like, don't think that you're going to be alienating people just because suddenly you're speaking up for yourself. Quite the opposite. People will be like, wow, I didn't know she or he had it in them to be able to speak this way. They're quite impressed by you, and they may even ask you where you found this strength to be this way. And with this is the page of Pentacles, sorry, the Knight of Pentacles here, and strength, I really do feel like this is the beginning of something rather beautiful. This is just strengthening yourself as a person in general, all because of the way you want to break free of having to lie, having to keep unhealthy secrets, and really just change the way you communicate because it doesn't fit with the way your family speaks. You have to figure out your own voice. This is literally all about finding your own true, honest, and most authentic voice, pile one. And this is quite beautiful. And it's quite interesting that I started reading this backwards. I usually read from this way to this way. But in this case, we have to keep our eye on the prize here, which is somebody who is tapping very much into their high priestess energy, their intuitive energy, this immense gut feeling that you know you're going to be doing what is right. This is quite lovely, but let's move on to some closing cards, some advice cards. Also notice how everybody's eyes are closed. They look like they're meditating. So I really do feel if you don't already meditate, you should take up a meditating practice, pile one, just to really help with this purging, this healing, really, that you are doing. We have some tea leaves and my Pokemon cards. My Pokemon Oracle. Let's start with the tea leaves. My beautiful, very outspoken pile one. We have rat, someone working against you or behind your back. Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. Grapes, time to go out and have fun. And I feel like, especially with that 3 of Cups previously, this is very much true. Owl, good advice from a wise person. And you yourself will become very wise as well, pile one. And bouquet, compliments from an admirer. Again, this is that 3 of Cups energy, but for some of you, I feel because both Kings of Swords and Pentacles came out, that you may have an admirer. You may catch somebody's ear, if you will, and then eye. So somebody may be coming through because of the, because when we speak and start, you know, showing a bit more of ourselves in the way we communicate, there is a certain a sense of attraction. I don't know if you've ever been attracted to the way somebody communicates or the way somebody speaks. I know we definitely can be attracted to people with their sense of humor, but I feel like they'll get to know more about you just by listening to the way that you speak and the way you communicate. Therefore, you will definitely be attracting not just friends, but also lovers. I've stated before that not only will you be getting good advice from wise people, whether that's through meditation or even if it's this reading, but you will become wise yourself. Owls may be of importance to you. They may be one of your animals. Success, fun, and this is all lovely. I'm also hearing Italy or somewhere along the Mediterranean, because these two put together, it looks like somewhere that could be like in Italy or Greece, maybe somewhere with old architecture and a lot of good food. So that could honestly be anywhere, but if you happen to be along the Mediterranean or happen to be going there, that might be of some importance. With the rat here, like I said, not everybody is going to like this, but I don't see them as a big threat. You know, there's always going to be haters out there, and just let them sit in their own hate. That's not for you to claim. That's not for you to care about. That's for them to deal with. So let's get some Pokemon advice messages. We have The withdrawal. Yeah, you're definitely withdrawing from this old energy of being entangled in secrets, lies, and deceptions. And, oh, bad things may be good if they prevent something worse. And I feel like that is a mentality that your family or your background, or maybe even you, could have adopted at some point. And this is true. Sometimes we need to lie to keep ourselves safe, or to, you know, just prevent certain things from happening. But we're no longer in that energy here, pile 1. This is interesting. Don't let nostalgia win again. I feel like there may be times when you find yourself slipping back into those habits of not being completely truthful or having to lie. I feel for some of you, it might just be for the heck of it. Like, you've done it for so long that you think there's no harm in doing so. But with this card, don't let nostalgia win again. Don't let that feeling win, because you're stronger than this. So much stronger. And there's nothing but beautiful things ahead for you because of this, pile 1. And this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. And if you have any comments, feel free to say them. I love hearing from you. And if you haven't done so already, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose this lovely black tourmaline palm stone, we have a reading here for you about what you are purging. We're going to start with some oracles and this one tarot card to see exactly what it is that you will be leaving behind or getting rid of in your life. And we're going to start with purification, determination, the frog and lotus, metamorphosis. This is lovely. Divine masculine, electric active power. And the star, harmony and renewal. So this is quite interesting. I feel it's not going to be so much a purge as a reinventing of yourself. I am seeing a little bit of whatever is holding you back from being your most positive self. So something to do with confidence and something to do with, I'm trying to put it into words. But yeah, something that prevents your confidence, because I'm getting the sense that you are being held back by whatever is preventing you to see your worth. I get the feeling that you are somebody who may not think very highly of themselves, because I'm being drawn to this frog card here. And the frog, it's kind of like the Princess and the Frog, or the Frog Prince, where you kiss the frog and they become a prince. But the truth is, you've been a prince or a princess this whole time. Take whichever resonates. I do feel like a lot of you will be in your masculine energy more, just because in order to be confident, I feel like you have to balance out your energies of both feminine and masculine. With active power here, I feel like you're also taking up some kind of exercise, specifically with your gut, or your maybe you're working on an abs, or maybe you're something along the middle. But it could also be any other kind of exercise, but I'm hearing like a 6-pack. Some of you may want to develop a 6-pack, or maybe a flat belly. Maybe you have recently given birth and you want to get back the body you used to be in, which I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with your beautiful body if you've just given birth. You are such a divine vessel, and your body deserves to be appreciated and worshipped, especially because you just brought life into this world. But what is holding back my pile 2? So I'm also getting the feeling that you kind of don't want to admit that you have to go through this, but you kind of do, especially if this is a workout routine and you kind of very on the fence about whether you should or should not. Because on the one hand, yes, we should love our bodies however they look like, but on the other hand, there's also this feeling of we need to exercise and give our bodies, you know, the the physical activity and the strength that it deserves. So while I can see that there's a bit of an inner conflict with you, this is what will be getting purged. You're going to be finding your worth. You're going to be purifying your energy of whatever is holding it back from really being able to appreciate itself, and for you to appreciate yourself, pile 2. With determination, I'm also feeling like you're going to be climbing new heights, maybe quite literally a mountain. Maybe you're somebody who prefers to do physical activity outside. Like maybe the gym is not your vibe, and I understand. I do not like going to gyms either, but you could definitely find it easier to stay physically healthy and in shape if you perhaps start running outside or go on hiking trails, maybe go rock climbing outside. I just feel like I'm getting a lot of earth energy. I feel like if you really find a way for this to suit both your inner nature lover and the sense of needing to get things accomplished, you will be able to better find a better routine to keep yourself healthy, whether you're just doing it for physical health or if you're also doing it for mental health. Because I could see a lot of you also wanting to exercise for that mental health aspect of it, because exercising outside is always better for your mental health than exercising in a gym, my personal opinion, because you're not being surrounded by other people, therefore wondering what they're thinking or what they're doing, or but that's just me. But if that resonates, by all means take it. Again, with divine masculine here, I really feel like you're going to be stepping more into that masculine side of you, that one that takes charge, the one that is very confident without really needing a reason to be confident. With the star, harmony and renewal, I feel like you're also going to be a beacon of hope for people, or you have found a reason to be very hopeful. And I feel like these two go hand in hand. Like once you really begin to be somebody who sets these wonderful habits of taking care of themselves physically and mentally, people will wonder how you did it. They'll be like, look at pile 2 go. They're turning from this, silly little frog into this prince or princess or royalty, whatever you want to say. This metamorphosis is really quite wonderful. And I feel like a lot of you may have come from a background where exercise wasn't encouraged, or it was kind of like laughed at, like, oh, what are you trying to be skinny or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of toxicity in not wanting to exercise as well, if that makes any sense. I've seen this in families where, everybody just wants to not be active for whatever reason. I've never quite understood it because I don't come from a background like that, but I have seen it. And maybe you feel a bit ashamed that you want to go out and be healthy and health conscious. You don't want to be a fit freak, that's for sure, but you definitely want to incorporate something that'll make you feel good. And what's better than to start with something physical so that it can in turn affect the mental. And when you're releasing all these what are they called when you release physical activity, I think it's pheromones. It's some type of hormone that makes you feel really good. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not great at science. I just know that when I dance, I feel amazing. And when we move our bodies, we all feel amazing. But I just feel like it's going to shift you for the better. You may find yourself waking up earlier. You may find yourself with more energy to get more done. And with the metamorphosis here, you're really going to transform yourself to the point that I feel some people may not even recognize you anymore. Again, there is nothing wrong with you and your body how it is now, pile 2. But if you want to do things to make yourself feel better, then by all means take them. You are not to be ashamed of doing that. No one's here to make you feel bad for doing something good for yourself. I really feel like that's what you're purging, the sense of guilt that sometimes comes with wanting to do something good for ourselves. I'm also getting that some of you may enjoy swimming, so that could be another thing you could do. And if so, try to do it. Well, I can't say that everywhere in nature is healthy to swim, because I know there's a lot of bacteria in like lakes and stuff, but I don't know. If you prefer to swim in nature versus swimming in a pool, by all means, you could do that as well. Some numbers that are popping up, we have 6 here. Yeah, this is 6 and 8. And then we have 17 for the star. So it's interesting, 6, 7, 8. I feel like everything will be happening quite naturally, like step by step. Start with small steps. But also 6, 7, 8. If you're a dancer, you know that the way we count is up to 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe some of you are taking up like a dance class, a Zumba class, I'm hearing. Or maybe some of you used to dance when you were younger and you're trying to pick that up again because you really enjoy it. But regardless, let's move on to the tarot portion of this reading to see what else you will be purging or how. We're going to start with the Accurate AF Tarot. We have Ace of Swords, Breakthrough, Mental Focus. We also have the Two of Swords, Indecision and Avoidance. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And let me block this. This is quite lovely. We also have Fortitude, Courage. I'm trying to figure out what card this... Oh, Strength. I want to say this is Strength. I don't know if half of this even qualifies as nudity, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And the Chariot. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting a lot of strength, a lot of courage coming through, determination. I just feel like you're becoming quite a baddie, pile 2, because you know it's time for an upgrade, which is funny because I feel like I think I have a reading coming up called What Your Upgrades Are. So if you feel like subscribing and you want to keep an eye out for that one, you can. To clarify the Ace of Swords, we have the Ace of Wands. To clarify the Two of Swords, we have the Five of Swords. To clarify the Queen of Pentacles, we have... Okay, the Queen of Pentacles again. That's hilarious. I love when that happens. This is why I like to use 2 decks. To clarify Strength, we have the Three of Cups. And to clarify the Chariot, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is quite lovely. So let's start with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands here. I really feel like, again, these are actually 2 masculine suits because there's 4 suits in the tarot, and Cups and Pentacles are going to be the feminine. Swords and Wands are going to be the masculine. So I really feel like you're just ready to take charge and step forward into life with a bit more sense of control, pile 2. I really feel like this is why you're starting to do this shift. For some of you, I feel like if you do decide to join a gym, or if you do decide to start taking up walks, it's to get you out of your current place where you live, just to get that breath of fresh air and to get a sense of control, especially if you're somebody that lives with somebody else, and especially if this somebody else happens to be either the owner of the house, like whether it's your parents or maybe a roommate, whatever this may be. I really feel like stepping outside and being in a different energy, especially being by yourself and focusing on your own body or mental health, will help you come to a breakthrough, as you can see in this card. Also, mental focus. I'm also getting that with this because, interestingly enough, I have this looks like a flame. It's carnelian and it's flame shaped. And carnelian is a crystal of focus. And likewise, I feel like the Ace of Wands here is not just inspiration, but the intent to focus that inspiration to do something better. With the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords here, I really feel like you are very much somebody who can sometimes be indecisive and avoidant. I'm hearing more avoidant than indecisive, just because, well, I'm not quite sure, but things have held you back in the past. Maybe you're somebody who has had to endure quite a bit of verbal bullying or verbal abuse, or just you've heard things be said about you that have not been the best. And I feel like you know you can't change people's minds, and you really don't feel like arguing with them. especially with the Two of Swords here, this is somebody who just does not speak, whether it's because they don't know what to say or because they don't want to. The choice is yours, but it's wanting to prove people wrong. It's that energy of wanting to show it in their face that you can be more than the thing that people claim you are, with the Five of Swords here. Because the Five of Swords is, I want to say it's the card of winning, but there's really more of a loss than winning. Like, you win, but you feel like it wasn't worth the win, if that makes any sense. But I'm also hearing just a lot of bullying, because I don't know if this ever happened to you, but with these paper planes here, I used to get thrown pieces of paper in the math class all the time when I was in middle school. Not because they were being mean to me, just because I was getting caught in the crossfire of a paper ball war going on in math class. I was definitely this Two of Swords here, just like not wanting to interact. I'm just here to do this. But for whatever reason, I was always getting hit with paper balls and sometimes even a paper plane. So I took this to mean bullying, and I feel a lot of it will be the same. Even if it wasn't meant with, ill will, I feel like people can say certain things to us that just come across as not very nice or not very great. Or, they're saying some truth to it, but it hurts to have it pointed out like that. So that may be another reason you're wanting to really step into this dominant energy and take up a bit more of, wanting to build your strength, either quite literally by lifting weights or by just gaining a sense of confidence that you get from working out. With the Queen of Pentacles here, both, I really do feel, well, let me show you what it says here. It says practicality and generosity. You may be an earth sign. I really am getting that. So this could be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. You could also have the moon in any of these signs, or ascendant. So you're definitely somebody who doesn't do something unless it makes sense to do so for practical reasons. And this is why I really think you're going to start out working out, because you might have other things going on, either mentally or maybe even financially. But you know that if you kick your butt into gear and start doing something physically, that the physical will affect the internal and the spiritual. It will affect everything. You probably are somebody who is very much into reflexology, I'm hearing, as well as massages, because you know that if you I'm also hearing acupuncture. I really feel like you believe that if you take care of the physical body first, everything else will take care of itself. And it's very interesting, because I literally started doing these things as I was speaking, and I wasn't doing that before. So, and I'm pretty sure this is something to do with acupuncture or massage, whatever the foot one is called. I think that one's reflexology. You probably do this quite often to yourself without even realizing it, or you come from a background of that. But if you can somehow manage it, I really encourage you to go get a massage, just to help you whenever you feel like you're getting sore, or even if you're just feeling down. If you ever feel like the anxiety or depression, or if you happen to suffer from any of these things, is getting too much to you, see if working on the physical body can help. I'm also hearing like an Epsom salt bath. I'm not a professional. This is just, advice from one person to another. But, I really do feel like if you were to work on your physical body, it would help you immensely. With strength here and the Three of Cups, I really do feel like you're going to find yourself being in this sense of joy, and even the sense of wanting to go out more, maybe to show off just how good you're feeling, how good you're looking. If that makes any sense. I feel like people sometimes just want to go out because they feel good and they want to see how, the night or the day is going to treat them because of this, or how much they know they're going to enjoy their day a lot more because they are feeling just so amazing. And this is true. When I feel great and I go out, I happen to find things, I might get freebies, or I may find like a new place to go eat, or if I'm shopping and I happen to feel great, I might find things on sale. Just little ways here and there that the universe is showing that it's okay to feel good. Here's a small reward for that. with the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles is reaping the harvest. I feel like you're going to get fast results, believe it or not, because the Chariot is, well, here it says directions and willpower, but another meaning for the Chariot is quick, is speed, quick action, speed, also just movement, like sure, steady movement that, you know, like things working out for you, basically, things moving forward. And the Eight of Pentacles being the card of reaping your harvest, reaping what you sow, I really feel like you're actually going to get fast results. If not physically, then definitely mentally, definitely within your life. I really do feel like even just a small walk around the block or walk around the park is going to shift your mentality so much that you may find yourself being a whole different person. And the universe will reward you because you're following your gut. You're following that urge, that sense to go do something good for yourself. So you will have no choice but to be like, you know what? This is right. This is what you were supposed to do. So here, have this or see these results. And it's quite lovely. I actually love these two cards together. Some numbers that are popping up here. One, because of the aces, but also 8. 8 and 8 for strength and for the Eight of Pentacles. Also 7. Somebody may have been born in July or August. 88 might be a number of importance. You may have been born the year of 88, 1988. And 2, 5, 3. Yeah. But this is all we have for the tarot. It's quite lovely, this journey you're going on, Pile 2. I really, really do hope that it helps you with either your physical or mental health. I really do feel like it's both. But for some of you, it might be one more than the other. But you're also aware that everything affects everything. So you have to start somewhere, you know? But let's move on to the tea leaves and the Pokemon oracles. So I'm getting called to do the Pokemon Oracle cards first. My dear Pile 2, we have, within all of us is someone we do not know. Oh, I love that. Some of you may be a fan of Gengar. I'm hearing that for some reason. I feel like some of you actually know who this is. But within all of us is someone we do not know. I love that because it can be taken both good and bad. And in this case, we're taking it as good. I feel like you will become somebody you don't even recognize in the future, like a few years from now, because of how all these good things you are implementing in your life. And one more card. We have, if you're presented with problems without solutions, some will choose to get used to it. This is quite interesting. It's very profound. I'm going to read it again. If you're presented problems without solutions, some will choose to get used to it. I feel like you're watching certain people just get used to their problems and wonder why they refuse to get out of it. It's quite interesting. And it's interesting that this is, oh my gosh, Snorlax. Snorlax is the sleepy Pokemon. And if you've played the game, the first generation, he blocks the road so you can't move forward. You are trying to wake up Snorlax for sure with whatever you are doing, my beautiful Pile 2. And let's get on with the tea leaves. Wow, those are just two profound cards. I love that. And I will link the deck in the description below. Maybe I will put it in the comments for some of you as well so you can easily find it because I put a lot in the description. But for the tea leaves, we have gavel, involvement with the law. We also have boat, money, or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. That's lovely. Broken wishbone, wish will not be granted. Ant, work, achievement, success. And angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So you have your spirit guides and your angels on your side, Pile 2. I can say that for sure. The ant is interesting because the ant is, to me, they resemble, or sorry, they well, you might resemble a bit of an ant if you're somebody who's tiny but mighty. I know I am. So if that resonates, take that. But this can also mean somebody who is so much stronger than they appear, whether that is because of who they are, what they look like, or because of their stature, as I've said. Also somebody who likes to work with other people. Because if you ever see ants carry food, they're so tiny. I mean so tiny, but they're carrying these big chunks of food that are like 10 times their size or more, and it's ridiculous. I really feel like people will look at you and say something similar like, wow, look at that person go. There's such a certain way that you wouldn't expect them to be this strong or be this talented, or I don't want to put many labels on it because I don't want to assume that you are, you know, like a tiny person or even a young person or something. But I definitely feel like people would not expect you to have the strength that you have. With broken wishbone, wish will not be granted. These are other people's wishes. And not necessarily a wish, more like their expectations, if that makes any sense. I really feel like I'm hearing like somebody's, like an older person, I want to say grandparent or maybe even like an older parent, say something along the lines of, oh, I wish you could feel how I feel, and they're in pain. That wish will not be granted. You will not feel their pain. You will not feel their hardships because you are breaking out of this. You're breaking out of, I am hearing a bit of family trauma, a little bit of what they've given you, but also like what your surrounding people are trying to tell you you're going to experience as you get older. And the truth is, they don't know you. They don't know what you will do in the future. They don't know what you do currently. But you see that a lot sometimes. You'll see old people tell you, oh, when you get to a certain age, this, and this happens. And I feel like you're rejecting that entirely. Because why should your body hurt all of a sudden just because you're getting old? That doesn't make, well, it does make some sense, but it shouldn't have to make that much sense. If you take care of yourself and if you're active and if you do everything within your power to keep yourself healthy, old age shouldn't be that painful. With both money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall, I just feel like you're going to be very successful. You probably work very hard, and I feel like you're just going to have a lot of abundance in your life in general. I feel like this is just an aside. I don't really think it has to do much with what's going on. Much like the spirit guides and angels, this is just a reminder that of what you have in your auric field, in your life, that is out there for you to reach for. And gavel, involvement with the law. You may work in the law force or something to do with the law. I'm also hearing like contracts or signing certain papers, legal papers, and this doesn't necessarily have to mean that anybody's in trouble. I'm hearing that you're going to be making certain things more official. What those things may be, I'm not sure. It could be something to do with money. It could also be something to do with, if it is an inheritance, you do have to sign some legal papers to inherit it. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff coming into your life, a little bit out of nowhere, and something that may make you believe in something other than just the physical world, especially with Gengar here. He's a dark Pokemon, also a ghost Pokemon. And we have Snorlax here, who's a normal type Pokemon. So it's interesting to see these two together. But this is all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. And you can like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing so. I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey there, Pile 3. If you chose this lovely garnierite stone, we have your reading about what you are purging. We're going to be using oracle cards to see what exactly it is you're purging, as well as this tarot card. But let's start with the oracles to see. We have disruption in this very flashy Barbie pink. Fulfillment. Oh, you got two of these. Leadership. Sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, and prayer. We also have the snail and huckleberry, trust in the invisible. This is very lovely energy. And then your tarot card is the Three of Swords. So I'm hearing that you got rejected from something, whatever this disruption and Three of Swords energy is. But this was a blessing in disguise. With sacred gratitude here, I feel like looking back at what you got rejected from, you are very grateful that you did not get this, because whatever it is was something that was not going to allow you to be in fulfillment. For some of you, I get the feeling it was a promotion because of leadership here. So it could have been, you may have been overlooked for a promotion to a certain position. You could have been not chosen. I feel like there was a lot of energy involved in why you were not chosen, whatever was going on. And I know it will be different for all of you. For some of you, it may have been that the people in power, or the people who were selecting whoever was supposed to be promoted, did not like you. Despite the fact that you had all the qualifications to move forward, they just did not like you. For some of you, it could be that there was a better option, and unfortunately, due to the way the selection process went, you were not eligible. It could have been for one thing, like maybe somebody had been working there more, maybe they were looking for people of a certain in some companies they do this, I don't know why, and I'm not saying it's right, but they look for people of a certain race, background, a certain gender, or something very specific to make the company look good. Or even for the area, some places may decide to promote people into a certain area because they're aware that they fit the people of that area. Again, I'm not saying this is right, but this could have been another reason why, or a reason why. And for some of you, I'm hearing deep down inside, you didn't want this. Like, I feel like if you were being very honest with yourself, you kind of did not want to be promoted or did not want to be chosen for this. I'm saying promotion, but I feel like this could also be like chosen for something specific, even if it doesn't have anything to do with work. But I really do feel like it has to do with work. It could also be, yeah, you were not chosen for something, and that's okay. So what you're purging is the desire to move forward with whatever this was. For those of you who resonated with the deep down inside, you didn't want this, I feel like you know your calling is elsewhere. Like if you were to go forward with this, and if you had been selected, you know that your heart would have been longing for something else, and it would have taken so much longer to get there than if you were to go with what you were going for, if that makes sense. Like, for example, you could have stayed in this company for another 10 years when the truth is you wanted to go and do your own thing and start your own business, or travel the world, or have children, start a family, whatever the case may be. You getting rejected was a blessing in disguise. I always get that with the Three of Swords. And underneath here it says upheaval and release. We're definitely going with the release in this case. And it's rather interesting. I'm wondering if whatever you are going through, regardless of whether you were chosen or not, if you're going to go from somewhere, I'm hearing movement, because we have like the Arctic Circle up here, or closer to the colder regions, like the poles, the South and North poles. Mostly North, because I'm pretty sure this is the Aurora Borealis. Yeah, this looks like the Aurora Borealis, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be somewhere where the night sky is gorgeous, so maybe out in the country. And peach. I'm from somewhere where peaches grow naturally, so this makes me think of Georgia, where I currently live. But it could also be anywhere that grows peaches, or anywhere that has where fruit is very prominent. Like you drive by somewhere and you see a lot of fruit. I'm also hearing, I'm getting Eight of Pentacles, which is weird. That's not a card I usually see in my mind's eye when I'm channeling, but I feel like you're going to be reaping the rewards of your hard work, regardless of what the selection process at wherever you were or wherever you wanted to be was, because you have a strong sense of gratitude and the belief in the unnatural and belief in the unseen with the snail and huckleberry here. Trust in the invisible. I feel somebody who is very connected to source, very connected to spirit. And if for whatever reason you identify more as atheist, you believe in yourself at the very least. It's quite interesting. We got 2 fruits here. Well, yeah, 2 fruits. Maybe you wanted to go into farming, or maybe you wanted to focus more on your garden. Both literally and figuratively. Literally, as in you might have a garden in your house and you'd rather work to create your own food than to, work a job where you have to make money to buy food when you could just grow it yourself. But also just focusing on what makes you happy and what it is that grows you. It's rather lovely, really, to understand that a rejection is a blessing. And that's just part of the kind of person you are, pile 3. You just have such a deep sense of belief that you will be taken care of. And if you don't, I hope you grow to believe that you will be provided for, you will be taken care of if you choose the things that are true to your heart. Just some numbers that are coming up here. We have 50, we have 3, and we have 51, 41. Yes, this is 41. I want to thank the people who have actually gone into the comments and told me what the Roman numerals are, because I think I had like 2 or 3 comments say the same thing, and I was like, oh my god. So thank you so much for letting me know. But that is XLI, and I'm pretty sure that's 41. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm learning, I'm trying. So for some of you, you may be within these ages of 41 and 50. And for some of you, I get the feeling that you're either a life path 3 or a life path 5 or a life path, no, yeah, that is 5. So we have 5 and 5 here, and 3. Just some numbers sticking out if they mean anything to you. But this is all quite lovely. So it's weird. I feel like this is not about what you are purging. It's more like what is being purged for you. And in this case, it's a position that you were not meant for because you have better stuff going on for you. If for whatever reason you still want this position or whatever you are going for, I feel like you will come across something better, something that is going to teach you to be much more grateful for the things you are and the things you have in life in one way or another. And you're definitely going to be grateful once you see how that position or whoever was given that position plays out, that you're glad that you're not in their place. You're grateful to not be in their place. But regardless, you still have the sense of leadership within you. So you will definitely accomplish great things. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else we have going on. My lovely pile 3. We're going to be using the Accurate AF Tarot. The Accurate AF Tarot, which so far has been very lovely. We have 10 of Cups. Oh, that's a lovely card to have. Abundance and attainment. We also have 2 of Swords. Indecision and avoidance. We have the Page of Swords, and I need a little, there we go. We also have, oh lovely, the Star, and 2 of Wands, independence, achievement. For the Page of Swords, we have reflection and diligence, and for the Star, we have harmony and renewal. And then to clarify these, we're going to use the Windsor Tarot. All I can tell you right now, pile 3, is that you have so many options. So to clarify the 10 of Cups, we have the 5 of Pentacles. To clarify the 2 of Swords, we have the Chariot. Oh, it's a lovely card to have. To clarify the Page of Swords, we have 5 of Cups. To clarify the Star, we have the 6 of Cups. And to clarify the Two of Wands, we have Three of Swords. Interesting that it comes out twice. I really feel like you're kind of letting this rejection get to you a lot more than it really should, pile 3. I mean, I'm trying not to, that sounds patronizing. I'm not trying to say that your emotion isn't valid, but it's more like we have the Three of Pentacles, bottom of deck energy. By the way, 333 has been coming out, so I feel like those are important numbers for you. But it's more like there are just so many better things out there for you. And I really hope in this reading you get to see them. And at the very least, if you can't get anything out of this reading, I hope you find your answer and your solution and your reward after having seen this, because you very much deserve it. With the Ten of Cups and the Five of Pentacles here, you're very much somebody who has a vision of success at all times with abundance and attainment. And I really know for a fact you will come across this in the future, pile 3. You're somebody who works very hard, and I'm getting that not so much from the cards, I'm just feeling your energy. Somebody who is so full of determination, and people notice this. People are very much aware of how valuable you are as a person. With the Two of Swords and the Chariot, I really feel like whatever indecision and avoidance you have will be cleared out quite quickly, because the Chariot to me is a card of swiftness, of speed, of movement, just, you know, progressing movement. And the fact that it's a major arcana card, this is almost like divine movement, divine timing, and timing that is very much, you get what you need when you need it. With the Page of Swords here and the Five of Cups, I really feel like you've been reflecting a lot on whether you are worthy of something or not. It's almost like your sense of self-worth came down just quite a bit after being rejected for this. And at the same time, I feel like you hold some resentment towards people that you thought had your back. But the truth is, don't worry about them. They have their own things to attend to, unfortunately. And half of the time, it's not even personal. For a few of you, like a very small portion, it is personal, because whoever had to select people was just quite jealous of you and thought you didn't deserve it because, you know, they didn't, in their opinion, you haven't suffered like they've suffered, so you don't deserve it, which is a crappy opinion to have, because what does that matter as long as you're fit for the job? So don't worry about what they have to say. But for the most part, it's really nothing personal. For like the other majority of you, it's just unfortunately the way business goes sometimes. Sometimes it's just a matter of what people can do. I'm hearing their hands are tied. And again, I'm getting that Eight of Swords, or was I saying Eight of Pentacles earlier? I'm getting a lot of 8 cards, and I was kind of wondering if they were going to come through, and they never did, but I'm getting a lot of 8 energy. Some of you may be a life path 8, or maybe this happened in August for some of you. August was last month as of the recording of this video. Right now it's September. So whatever may have happened in August, maybe August 8 for some of you. But regardless, I feel like go ahead and let yourself wallow for the appropriate amount of time that you need to wallow and to process this. But don't stay in this energy, pile 3, because you are worth so much more than you give yourself credit for. With the Star, it says here harmony and renewal, but I always see it as the card of hope. I really do feel like within you there is so much to offer that there is no reason for you to not be hopeful of something better, especially with the Six of Cups here. I feel like you're going to be getting a call or a message from a friend. Oh, okay, I hope that's confirmation. A message from a friend that is going to be offering you something, whether that's a better position, a better job, maybe somewhere to stay. I feel like a friend is going to be helping out with something. At the very least, they'll be letting you know that you definitely deserved this. But I really hope, especially that this friend lets you know, and if they don't, well, I'm here to tell you, you're very much deserving of whatever you were rejected from. You very much deserve that spot, but for whatever reason, and the reason again will vary for every one of you, is that you were just meant for better. You were meant for so much more. And honestly, you have gifts that are meant to be shared with the world. You have so much more to offer everybody else that I don't think being in that position would have been would have been the best for you. I mean, just look at how happy this woman is here in the water. You might move to somewhere where there's water, because there's 2 cards here that are coming through. Or maybe somewhere where there's also a desert. There are places that have both deserts and like oceans nearby. I can't remember which ones, but besides Mexico. But if you're from an area like that, or if you're moving to an area like that, that may be something to keep in mind. For those of you that resonate with it, of course. With the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Swords here. Independence and achievement. I really do feel like this heartbreak is going to be like the last straw you needed to finally break away from your previous environment, or your current environment if you're still in it. And maybe that's what you're really purging, is these old ideals or these old beliefs that you had to obtain something in order to be worthy, or in order to be successful. And the truth is, the ability to be successful is within you regardless. You're just worth so much more than what they had to offer. And you'll be finding this, especially with the 3 of Pentacles here. You're going to start networking and finding all kinds of amazing things that you didn't expect to find out there. And underneath that is the 9 of Cups, which is a card of wish fulfillment. This is so lovely. But yeah, you have so much going for you, Pile 3. And I wouldn't worry about one small rejection that was for something that wasn't worth it to begin with. But this is all I have for the tarot. Let's move on with any closing advice and the tea leaves. I wonder if some of you were let go as a result, or you decided to just quit as well, because that is coming through as well. I just didn't want to put that energy out there. That's not going to be for everybody, but I feel for some of you this will be resonating. And for others, you're still going to be in the company, but of course rejection hurts, so your mind has definitely shifted in the way you perceive the company or the people you work for. All right, so let's get some tea leaves. We have Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Definitely. I feel this very strongly in this pile. Butterfly. A change for the better. Oh, this is lovely. Rat. Someone working against you behind your back. Yeah, I feel like whoever decided, no, let's not give them this promotion or whatever, that was that person. Also, somebody could be Year of the Rat. And chain of events that will affect your life. And I feel like this is part of that chain of events, quite honestly. And we have some Pokemon oracles as well. We have proximity to information improves performance. I feel like you'll be finding out about certain results or certain opinions. I really feel like a lot of information is going to come through for you, Pile 3. And this will be insightful as to what went down with you, and you're not getting chosen or selected for whatever it is you wanted. And do not draw lines you intend to erase. Yeah, I feel like your time at wherever this was, or with whatever this was limited to begin with. So what was the sense of drawing lines if they were going to be erased anyway? I feel like this was not something that was going to be able to sustain you in the long run, especially with chain of events here and with the elephant here. Some of you might be Tauruses, because elephant is a Taurus animal. But with a long journey, either physical or mental, I really feel like this has been the start or a big step in the chain of events that is going to lead you to what you really need to be doing, or what you really want to do, whatever brings joy to your heart. Because it is possible that we can make a living through the things that we enjoy doing, or that we can find, joy in our work, in our line of work. With Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Don't settle. Like, I feel like in having been given this position, you would have been settling, when the truth is you deserve so much more. There is a chance that you would have been offered less than you were worth if you were given this position, even though it still would have been more than what you were currently making. I feel like it wouldn't have been enough. I feel like they would have tried to lowball you. And because, especially if you're somebody who's not used to the amount of money they were about to give you, you would have taken it regardless, or you would have thought, oh, let me not argue that. I want to take this regardless. But the truth is, you deserve so much more than what they were willing to offer you. With Butterfly, a change for the better, I really do feel like this set of events was just for your benefit, because you're like this butterfly. You are changing into something so much more beautiful and so much better than what you used to be. At least in terms of career. I really do feel this is career related. It could be anything. I'm just going by what I can best translate it into. But I really feel like everything is working out for you at all times, Pile 3. I need you to have absolute belief in the universe having your back. And I feel a lot of you already do. So if this resonates, please let me know. It's always nice to have, words of confirmation. But with that, I'm going to leave you here, my dear Pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I wish you nothing but success and for the best for your soul, for your heart, and for your life. If you haven't already, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello there, Pile 4. If you chose the lepidolite palm stone, then we have a reading about what you're going to be purging or what you are currently purging. So we're going to start with some oracles and this one tarot card to give us an insight into what you are purging. Let's start with miracles. Oh, that's a lovely card to have. The lizard and pitcher plant, stagnation. Deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. And love. And then your tarot card is the world. Okay, that is a lovely card to have. Also, I really like this stone. It looks like aura quartz maybe? Or smoky quartz, but regardless. So you're going to be purging some super deep emotional stagnation. It's actually it's spelled out a little too obvious for me, so I hope it doesn't come off as a little blunt. But I really do feel like there has been some sort of stagnation within your life, and I'm getting mostly emotional. For some of you, it's definitely going to be love, as in love, attraction to another person. But for all of you, for sure, it's going to be something to do with self-love. You are purging this stagnation that is preventing you from really feeling either deeply and emotionally. I feel like for a lot of you, you have been encouraged, or for whatever reason, you've developed a habit of not being able to express yourself in a healthy, emotional way. Perhaps you're somebody who doesn't like to cry in front of people, or you refuse to cry, so instead you just bottle it up and refuse to let this emotion go. Same thing with anger. Whenever something that angers you comes up, instead of expressing this anger, you'd rather just bottle up all of these emotions. And unfortunately, this can mean that there will be like outbursts of emotions, and therefore people may see you as somebody who's rather unstable, when the truth is you just don't know how to express these emotions in a healthy, conducive way, in a way that is, good for you, in a way that is good for the environment with the world here. But I see you kind of having a bit of for some of you, it might be a spiritual awakening. And for others, I feel like you may be doing some kind of meditation. Well, that is a spiritual awakening, but some kind of meditation to deeply see into your soul. Maybe past life regressions for some of you with past life influences. To really see what it is that has been holding you back. Because for some of you, this might be from your family or from your childhood, but for another part of you, like half of you maybe, it's past life trauma that has been passed down from life to life. And I feel like it stops here. It stops here with this current life that you have, Pile 4. And there's going to be such a sense of wonder here with miracles, because I feel like you're going to come across this when you least expect it. Again, for some of you, it might be like a meditative thing, but for others, I feel like you're going to be going on a journey somewhere. Just because this card makes me think of travel for some reason. I know when you're up in in a plane and you see the clouds, sometimes you'll see rainbows or something very aura-like about looking out those windows on a plane, on an airplane. Maybe it'll be while you're looking at that. Of course, be careful because the sun might get in your eyes. But I feel like with travel, you may get a sense of deep healing, and for some of you, you might actually witness a miracle. Whatever that miracle may be, it could be a baby being born. It could be maybe somebody healing from something that people said was terminal, or that, you know, I feel like you're just going to witness something that really makes you believe that, one, we are all more than just this human body that we currently inhabit, and two, that there is so much more to life than to be living in this stagnant energy of wanting to stay in this energy of not feeling. But it's all going to stem from a feeling of love. And like I said, for some of you, it might be romantic love, but for all of you, it's going to be self-love. It's going to be that overwhelming feeling of love that we have for the world. I really feel the heart chakra just opening up and embracing life to its fullest, and it just feels so nice. Whatever, I don't know if this is your current energy, but it's definitely going to be the energy you are going to be in the future. Hopefully in the very near future, pile 4, because this feels very lovely. With the world here, you're definitely going to feel a sense of achievement or fulfillment, regardless of what you do. I really do feel this is more of an internal, either mental or spiritual journey for you. I don't really see you going out to actually do something. I feel like you just come across this almost by chance. Again, miracles here could mean anything can happen, and your perspective as a result changes for the better, as does your heart, I hear. With unknown feelings, you may not have even been aware that certain things were going on with you, pile 4. I feel like you think that the way you felt was just fine, that you were missing nothing in your life. But the truth is, you're going to come across something and have a huge realization that you were not all there, and something wonderful is going to open up in your heart. With this card in particular, since I was talking about travel, if you look at the background of this, it looks like some kind of ancient architecture. So I'm thinking of like the Incan or Mayan ruins, or Aztec ruins, pyramids for sure. So if you are traveling somewhere like in Mexico and Latin America, where they have ruins, like I'm thinking Machu Picchu or any of the Aztec pyramids that they have down there, or really anywhere in the world where there's like some kind of ancient architecture that is just that has a lot of history to it, I feel like you may find those areas either comforting or maybe just eye-opening. Maybe you'll get a sense of some past life moments there, if that makes sense. I'm also getting like anywhere in Greece where what's it called, the Parthenon? I think it's called the Parthenon. I don't know why that's coming through, but really anywhere in the world where there's ancient ruins that you feel you're kind of getting called to, or that have some kind of eye-opening feeling. I feel like that will be very profound, especially with the world here as well. You might feel a huge sense of connectedness. Also, if you can hear that, that's my dog drinking water. That's his daily reminder to you to drink some water. But I really just feel such a beautiful, eye-opening vision of interconnectedness, and I really feel like this is something that your soul has been craving, pile 4, or at the very least something that you really need to experience. If you're not traveling, this could all just be through meditation. It could also be through like a video. Maybe you're watching something online or on TV about world history, and something just calls to you, and as a result, you know, you start getting some past life inklings and feelings. And I don't know, but somehow all of this will lead to a sense of fulfillment for you, pile 4. But let's move on to the tarot, because I kind of want to figure out what else you're going to be going through, because it's such a lovely feeling. I'm just getting such a big feeling in the heart space. I'm going to be using the Accurate AF Tarot, and so far it's been a very lovely deck. We have 9 of Pentacles here with abundance and fortitude. That's very lovely. The Page of Cups with opportunity and creativity. We have the Sun, positivity and abundance. And wasn't I talking about ancient Greek architecture? I think this is, I don't even know what this is, but it looks like ancient and Greek. So maybe Roman. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Positivity and abundance. And it's funny, abundance comes up twice in this already, so expect some good stuff. King of Cups, integrity and stability. For those of you with which romantic love was resonating, I really feel like this person is going to be very emotionally nurturing. And the Emperor, wow, wisdom and passion. Yeah, some of you definitely have a love interest, possibly a man, if you are into men. And then we have the Whimsy Tarot to clarify. Or at the very least, somebody in their masculine energy, if they are not a man, of course. We have the 7 of Cups to clarify the 9 of Pentacles. We have, for the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups. Lots of love coming through. Again, if not a person, definitely towards yourself pile. For 5 of Swords. 9 of Wands. Lots of 9s coming through as well. And to clarify the Emperor, we have 7 of Swords. Oh, this is such beautiful energy. I cannot get enough of it. And I definitely feel like this is what you're going to be projecting a lot towards the world, as well as yourself pile for. But starting with the 9 of Rings here, sorry, the 9 of Pentacles, abundance and fortitude, and the 7 of Cups. I really feel like you've been working, well, you've been presented a lot of options with how to make money, if that makes any sense. I feel like you're going to be someone who's going to have multiple streams of income, and this will allow for you to really travel the world, because I really do feel a bit of a globetrotter here. And if you don't already have multiple streams of income, I feel some of you may already have that. But for the other people who don't, I feel like it's very possible for you to come up with a way to make money without really having to work too hard at it, or to have multiple jobs but at the same time not put out as much effort, if that makes any sense. I feel like you will be doing the same amount of work, possibly even less, and still be making more money through different channels, whether that's through like an online business, an actual job, maybe some freelance. I just feel like it's going to give you so much more flexibility in how you can handle your life, and maybe as a result of it you decide to travel a lot, because I am getting a lot of Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. So if those signs resonate, just, you know, I feel like this is just clarification. With the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups, there's just a sense of emotional renewal here, or taking on an emotional journey. So there's going to be a sense of renewal with emotions. I really do feel like you're going to be opening up your heart to feeling a lot more, especially because, especially if you are creative, I feel like you've been needing a sense of inspiration for something, whether that's to start a new venture, or maybe for your artwork, or maybe to just really do something new and different and from the soul, from the heart. And you'll definitely find this going forward with your life once you purge this sense of stagnation that you have. And I really do feel like that purging is going to come very naturally. I feel like you're just going to be going about your life and suddenly things happen and you feel revitalized. With the Sun and the 5 of Swords here, positivity and abundance. The 5 of Swords is a card of loss. But what you lose is what's going to allow you to glow. I really feel the loss is going to be more an old mindset that just was not benefiting you at all, or a mindset that really needed to be edit it in a way that makes more sense to you, if that makes any sense. It's more like you're leaving behind old patterns, old thought processes, maybe a lot of negative self-talk that you don't need anymore. So you can allow yourself to shine and bring in this abundance of not just light and positivity, but also wealth. With the King of Cups here, integrity and stability, you will be embodying these things. I feel like you're going to be more stable in both for your finances and your emotions, but also the sense of integrity. I feel like you will finally understand what that means to have integrity and to just be an all-around better person. With the Nine of Wands here, I feel like you're really going to be battling your old self and fighting for what is good and to keep the good within you and around you. With the Emperor here, oh, by the way, if this is a love connection, I feel like you're going to be actually working to keep them in your life, because I feel that you know that they are worth fighting for. With the Emperor here, wisdom and passion, I really do feel you're going to be stepping into this masculine energy. And a lot of these piles have been resonating with that, stepping into the masculine energy. Not necessarily, this is regardless of what you identify as, but I feel like everybody is becoming more dominant. They're speaking out for themselves more, and they're really finding what it is that makes their heart sing. It's more like what brings joy to you and chasing that joy, but not in a way that is exhausting, in a way that is both good for you, mind, body, and soul. With the Seven of Swords here, Seven of Swords is, it can be trickery, it can be deception, but in this case, I feel like you are no longer lying to yourself, if that makes any sense. We are no longer going to be pretending that we're small. We're no longer going to be pretending something we're not. Instead, we're going to be going into this with an immense amount of gratitude, because this guy looks like he's meditating, praying, or even clapping, maybe appreciating something before him. But we're definitely not holding on to those structures that are kind of phony, or if not phony, then no longer true to ourselves. This is really such a beautiful spread. Some signs that are coming through, Leo with the sun, and all of the water signs, because there's quite a bit of water cards here. We have 4. So Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And those are the more prominent ones. So you might actually have a moon in a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. You could also be a Leo, or have a lot of Leo placements. The sun could be in your first house, is what I'm hearing for some reason. An Emperor would be Mars energy, so this is Aries or Scorpio again. I really do feel like a lot of this is going to be Scorpio energy, just because of the sense of wonder. Water signs tend to be very much into their playful, childlike energy, at least from what them and air signs. I think those two are the more playful, childlike of the signs. So I really feel you're going to be stepping into this more. You're just going to have a sense of wonder all around you, and as a result, you're going to be inspired more, and life will just feel so much more breezy. I'm hearing easy breezy. But let's move on to closing statements, or closing cards, and some tea leaves. This is such beautiful energy, and I feel like wherever you're going, there's going to be a lot of sun, a lot of bright imagery, a lot of love as well. Whether you travel abroad or if you stay wherever you are, my beautiful pile 4. So tea leaves, we have chain of events that will affect your life. I really do feel like this entire reading was talking about a weird chain of events that is going to affect you positively. We also have October. So right now it's September when I'm recording. So the month of October may be of importance to you. Either you will be traveling in October, or you may have been born in October. Shout out to all the Scorpios and Libras. Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. I'm also hearing you might get a new pair of boots. Barrel. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. I feel like this was you at the start of this. So definitely what you're purging is this lack the stagnation that prevents you from attaining whatever it is that you need, whether it's love, money, and or goals. And Cup, you should accept valid criticism. I'm also hearing tea time with somebody important, or getting like a cup of coffee, or like a cafe date with somebody important. And I feel like they will be telling you something you needed to hear, not necessarily criticism, but something that is going to uplift you so much that you're going to be very grateful for the insight. Also, I'm hearing like sharing a cup of tea with your grandmother perhaps, or your mom if you don't have your grandmother with you. I'm hearing specifically a woman. So this could be a friend, or if you're attracted to women, it could be a date. It could be that King of Cups or Emperor vibe we were feeling. It could also be a date. I mean, with anybody, not just a woman, but anybody. So a coffee date. So I actually really love this. So yeah, these are the beautiful things. What you're giving the boot is that stagnation and that feeling of lack. It will not stick around any much longer, pile 4. And then we have some Pokemon oracles to close this off. I love this deck so much. We have Jolteon, Burn, Feeble Foundation, Unavoidable Crisis. I wouldn't worry about that though. We also have, it is not always necessary to go unnaturally out of one's way to be considerate. I feel like if this is somebody who's here to criticize you, you're not going to be tolerating them much longer, or tolerating the way they speak to you. I think you're going to be telling them exactly how you feel. Like, you're going to be gaining the courage to tell them that that was not necessary to say. If you do happen to get some kind of criticism that was not necessary, or maybe just some negative speak that, had nothing to do with anything. And with Burn, Feeble Foundation, and Unavoidable Crisis, I feel like you will learn how to better handle crises. It's almost going to be that when something goes wrong, you're not going to go into crisis mode anymore, or start, panicking. You'll know you're at this stage of feeling content with your life, of feeling this absolute love, when you stop, when you don't worry as much. It'll be like something bad's going on and you will no longer feel that alarm. Especially if this is somebody who has been, if you're somebody who's been dealing with anxiety for a while, you will know something is going right in your life when that anxiety suddenly doesn't feel as harmful, if that makes any sense. I'm not a professional here, and of course I'm only saying this as advice from one person to another. But I definitely feel like there's going to be a sense of calm, that you will know how to handle anything that comes up in your life. As a result, you're going to get very stronger, which is weird because that's not something that was really coming up in the rest of the reading. But it's almost like it's a silent strong. Like whatever is in your heart is making you, it's making you stronger and allowing you to handle things in a way that keeps you at peace, if that makes sense. But this is where I leave you, my beautiful pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. And if you haven't already, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, of course. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye.